Breaking tonight, emotional King Felipe sees Princess Leonor take the spotlight. The palace was alive with anticipation. Crystal chandeliers glimmered overhead, reflecting on polished marble floors. Distinguished guests moved through the hall, their murmurs blending with the soft strains of classical music. Tradition was in the air, ceremony was expected, protocol ruled every corner. But then, everything shifted. Princess Leonor stepped into view. Poised, radiant, commanding attention not just by her presence but by the undeniable confidence she carried. And across the room, King Felipe's eyes found her immediately. It wasn't merely the glance of a father observing a public figure, it was the gaze of a man moved by emotion, of a parent watching his child rise. The subtle swell of pride, the restrained emotion, made the moment feel almost tangible. This was a scene that contrasted sharply with expectation. Royal events are usually choreographed, polished, and public displays of perfection. Yet, here was authenticity, raw and quietly powerful. Felipe's pride and Leonor's composure created a tension that drew every eye in the room, yet also whispered a personal story hidden from the public view. Earlier in the day, preparation had been meticulous. Stylist teams, advisors, and staff ensured every detail adhered to the high standards of the crown. Leonor moved through it with calm assurance, her focus on the larger purpose of the evening rather than the minutiae of presentation. Behind that calm, however, was a young woman carrying the awareness of centuries of tradition, and the weight of her father's attentive gaze. The evening's opening quickly revealed Leonor's magnetic presence. As she greeted guests, she balanced warmth with poise, charm with dignity, presence with authenticity. Felipe's observation never wavered, his expressions were subtle yet full of meaning. Every nod, every fleeting smile conveyed encouragement, love, and pride without a single word. Observers noted the nuance in their interactions. A quiet touch on the arm, a whispered exchange, a glance that conveyed understanding and reassurance, all small gestures that spoke volumes. In a room filled with grandeur and ceremony, it was these intimate connections that captured the emotional core of the evening. Leonor's first address of the night offered another layer of emotional resonance. Her voice was confident, articulate, and commanding, yet natural, reflecting the careful cultivation of a young leader preparing for the future. Felipe's pride was evident in the subtle movements of his gaze, the slight softening of his posture, the gentle lift of a hand in silent affirmation. These visual cues transformed a formal address into a deeply human moment. Throughout the night, the interplay of public and private dynamics created layered storytelling. Leonor navigated conversations with dignitaries, artists, and cultural figures, her warmth extending beyond protocol. Felipe's watchful presence reinforced her confidence, providing the invisible scaffolding that supported her every interaction. Each small gesture between them added depth to the narrative. The brief touch of hands as they moved across the room, the shared smile over a minor, unnoticed mishap, the fleeting, private exchange that went unseen by the majority of the audience, all served as testimony to the trust, mentorship, and love shared between father and daughter. Curiosity naturally builds in moments like these. Why does Felipe's emotion feel so palpable? How does a father balance personal pride with the demands of public expectation? How does Leonor maintain authenticity while under the scrutiny of millions? Each answered question invites the next, keeping the audience engaged and emotionally invested. As the night progressed, Leonor's impact became even more apparent. She moved seamlessly from formal presentations to informal interactions, her charm and attentiveness leaving a lasting impression. Felipe's presence remained quietly central, not intrusive, but consistently supportive. The room could sense it. The weight of legacy, the guidance of experience, the unwavering pride of a parent witnessing growth. At a ceremonial highlight of the evening, Leonor addressed an audience that included both seasoned diplomats and cultural leaders. Her eloquence, coupled with an approachable warmth, captivated the room. Felipe's attention never wavered, his subtle gestures of encouragement reinforcing her confidence. For anyone paying close attention, it was evident that this was a partnership grounded in mutual respect, care, and understanding. Even amid formalities, intimate moments defined the evening. A quick glance exchanged during a toast, a brief touch as they walked, a soft nod signaling reassurance, each subtle communication conveyed volumes. These gestures illuminated the deep bond between them, reminding the audience that the most profound moments of royalty are often quiet, understated, and deeply human. The grandeur of the evening, the music, the ceremonial structure, the applause, served as a backdrop for the central story, a father witnessing his daughter shine. The contrast between public expectation and private emotion made the evening compelling, creating a narrative that transcended spectacle. Leonor's poise and warmth shone throughout, yet glimpses of humanity emerged. Genuine laughter, brief expressions of curiosity, fleeting moments of vulnerability, all punctuated the evening with authenticity. Felipe's attentive gaze and subtle gestures provided reassurance, mentorship, and love, highlighting the dynamic balance between parental guidance and public responsibility. Observers and attendees alike noted the emotional resonance. The story of the evening was not merely in ceremonial accomplishments but in the visible pride and connection between father and daughter. The interaction was a masterclass in subtle communication, a blend of mentorship, support, and affection that few outside the family could witness. As the evening drew to its ceremonial climax, Felipe and Leonor shared a private moment amidst the public spectacle. A glance, a smile, a subtle nod, unseen by most but deeply meaningful. This final exchange encapsulated the evening's emotional narrative, the enduring bond of family, the quiet power of pride, and the emergence of a young princess ready to step into her public role. When the event concluded and guests departed, the palace quieted, yet the impact of the evening lingered. Fans, observers, and attendees were left with a story not of spectacle, but of emotional depth. The night showcased the humanity behind titles, the tenderness behind crowns, and the power of shared pride. The takeaway was clear: royalty is not merely a display of grandeur. It is shaped by personal connections, by mentorship, by love. Felipe's pride and Leonor's confidence created a moment that resonated beyond the palace walls. It was a vivid reminder that beneath the regalia, ceremony, and history, there is the enduring presence of family. This evening will be remembered not for its perfection, but for its humanity. Not for the titles, the gowns, or the spectacle, but for the intimate, quiet moments that defined the night. Felipe's watchful, emotional presence and Leonor's poised brilliance created a narrative that was authentic, relatable, and inspiring. As the palace doors closed, one truth remained: the public witnessed more than an event. They witnessed a father's pride, a daughter's emergence, and the enduring bond that shapes the future of Spain's monarchy. This was not only a celebration of ceremony, it was a celebration of heart, connection, and legacy. And in that, the story of the evening, King Felipe and Princess Leonor, captivated fans and observers alike, leaving an indelible impression of love, mentorship, and the quiet power of family at the heart of royalty.